Do you have a hard stop, or do you have a little bit of leeway?
We can continue on.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Mark Scott, where are you? You're muted.
I am in southern New Jersey.
Okay.
Making hay today.
Making hay. Literally making hay?
Literally making hay. I just got off the tractor.
That's great.
I see Renee.
Well, let me
You've got our first European participant.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
A wagon of hay over there.
Hey, look at that.
This is a little bit more fun than your average corporate call. A little more interesting, for sure.
Especially with people with cars in their photos. That's awesome.
Yep.
So who's wearing NSXPO apparel?
Nice.
I wish I was. I didn't think of it. Oh, well.
Future sessions.
Yeah, totally.
We'll learn a lot from this one, for sure.
I just brought my car with me, okay? I just brought my car with me.
Did you say that Renee was on? May?
I'm sorry?
Hey, I wanted to show you my wall here. See, there you go.
Renee was on?
Yes.
From Europe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also Scott Baxendale, who I believe is in Australia.
Oh, great.
So we've truly got an international attendee list today.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah, hi May, hi everybody. It's working really well over here. It's not too early in the morning. It's only 7:30 a.m. So a good time to start. It's going to be earlier for a few more of the sessions, but this is easier than getting on an aeroplane, I tell you.
That's great.
A lot safer.
That's great, yeah.
And there's Renee right below you, at least in my screen.
I'm here. I see you all.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
See you
Renee.
too.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm very good. This is very new for me, so I'm glad I got it working.
Well, good. You're coming through loud and clear.
Guys. Man, we missed a lot this year.
Yeah,
We're supposed to be in Japan right now.
Yeah, we're all supposed to be in Japan right now. That's true.
Maybe this is even better.
I don't know. No jet lag.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dexter.
Well, we're all waiting for John.
Oh, yeah. We're at 59 people. We're going to wait until we're maybe in triple digits.
Well, it's almost bedtime for me.
What time
This
is
is
it there?
worth staying up, though, for, right?
Near midnight.
Okay.
Just got out from work, so I have to be back in 6 hours, so let's hurry.
Well, tomorrow's session, Renee, is a couple of hours earlier, so hopefully it won't be so late for you. It should be, I think, 9 p.m. your time.
It should be better for me, thank you. Well, I'll mute now.
Hours earlier, so hopefully it won't be so late for you. It should be, I think, 9 p.m. your time.
It should be better for me, thank you. Well, I'll mute now.
Hours earlier, so hopefully it won't be so late for you. It should be, I think, 9 p.m. your time.
Yes, it is.
Miss Purple.
Hi.
Hi. I actually think I met you at one of the SoCal rides that what's his name used to put on for us.
The Les used to put on?
Yes. Yes.
Unless it was part of NSXPO, I haven't been able to really participate in any of the SoCal events. I know that Les used to always invite me to them, but I wasn't able to make them. So I'm sorry for that. It was somebody else.
Okay. Were you at the NSX Expo in Palm Springs or Palm Desert?
Oh, absolutely. I was part of that. Yes.
All right, that's where I met you at. Then I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I have the poster on the wall.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Right there. Yes. I had a good time there.
Excellent. That was one of our biggest NSXPOs that we've had to date. That one, the one in San Francisco in 2018, one in California many, many years ago before I actually even joined the club, had a lot of attendees. So
okay. That was exciting.
We're looking forward to next year's event in Portland. Just a shame that we had to postpone it from this year, but hopefully with there not being an in-person event this year, maybe there'll be some pent-up demand and we'll get even more folks attending next year.
Yes, sounds good. So how many people are you guys expecting on this today?
Well, we're going to wait until we hit triple digits, hopefully in another couple of minutes. This is the first time that the NSX Club of America has ever done anything like this. So we're obviously having to do a lot of, there's a lot of testing and trial runs, and sorry that, this maybe isn't going as smoothly as we would hopefully like for it to have gone, but we'll take learnings from this and make the future sessions better.
Can't wait then. Can't wait. I'll mute myself and I'll stay tuned in.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Bailey, how many Michelin stars do you have this year? You're supposed to put a real crib on your Michelin star count. What is it?
I don't recall. I haven't been able to really do much dining this year because of obviously the pandemic.
Right.
So I think the last count was in the 200s.
Wow.
Who was it?
Mark account? 65 people.
Sit up the face out.
Hey, Tyson.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It sounded like everybody got muted for a second. What was the question?
Oh, it was for Tyson.
Yeah.
Saw that Charles Stieber was stopped by on his way back to Texas.
Yeah. He was a guest of honor for a day. He picked up a sweet little S2000 that he was cruising by. So we took it to lunch.
I saw that. That's a great car for him. I'm glad that he's on his retirement. Perfect.
Minty, like 20,000 miles. I love Charles. He just has so much rich history with the brand. He has an Instagram account called Kokoro Honda that he shares some really cool behind-the-scenes stories from over the years.
Yeah, he is walking encyclopedia of corporate history.
Yep, totally.
Hey Tyson, Ben, saying hi.
Hey there. Yeah. Hey guys.
Taking care of his dad. Yeah. He just went back maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah. What's our count? We're at 66.
Gonna hang it around 65, 66%.
Did anybody who's new at this have any difficulty at all in signing on? If you did, raise your hand or shake your head.
I just went ahead and downloaded Windows, which seems to be better format than what we actually set up.
Yep. Manny, did you come in through a laptop?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, May, it might be interesting to ask how many people are calling in through a phone, and if so, what kind of phone, just for future planning, and then a laptop, to get an idea
Can I
of...
add to?
Yes.
Yeah, so I dialed in on an iPad, and what was confusing for me, I hadn't used Teams before, and so in the invite, when I first tried to click on the link, and so what it does when you do that is it says the link's invalid, but I figured that wasn't the problem, so then I went and installed Teams, and then of course the link worked. So it's kind of a pitfall where it's not clear what the problem is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the link doesn't work in Safari, and if you have the app on your phone or on your iPad, it should open right up. So I think that's where the disconnect is. That's a good point.
Yep.
So if we were to record this, would it record the messages as well? The things that people are saying? Can we get like a transcript of any of this stuff?
It's going to do video.
Yeah, video, but we don't have it on yet. And some people that said, yeah, I'm using a laptop or whatever. Is there a way to get that?
When you talk about with the text and launch it.
Kick it off, okay.
So just so everybody knows, we're going to meet you here in a second. We're going to start the recording, and then John and Mei Lee will kick it off.
And I'll have Mei Lee kick it.
I can't unmute myself. Okay, there we go.
No, up there.
Okay, are we starting the session, Mark?
Yeah, we're going to record. Okay, here we go. Goes by the box.
Okay.
Okay, May.
Okay.
Go ahead. Kick it off.
Okay, here we go. Okay, welcome to the 2020 Virtual NSXPO, brought to you by the NSX Club of America. I'm Mei Lee, also known as Ms. Purple, and I'll be your host for today. Everyone is being placed on mute except for John and myself, and we would ask that if you have questions to either wait until we get to the Q&A portion or type your question in the chat window, and we'll try to pull those off and get them answered as we get later into the session. So today's session features John Watts from Acura. John has always loved cars for as long as he can remember. He answered an ad in the LA Times 33 years ago and thus began his career at Honda. Over the years, he has worked in various roles such as product planning, public relations, digital marketing, and currently is the senior manager on the NSX strategy team. He's here today to share information about what is happening with the NSX and things that are relevant to NSX owners. Thank you, John, for kicking off this first day of our first ever virtual NSXPO.
Thank you, May. It's really good to be with everybody. It's not quite the same as being with everyone in person, but we'll persevere and make the best of this. Just to set expectations, you probably won't hear what you might be hoping to hear in this session, like an open-top car or a purple car or something like that, but I will share with you some of the things that are happening with us here. So here, and let's see. Here we go. All right. So, wow, a lot of things have changed since we were last together in Washington, D.C. last year. We were able to go to museums. Nobody had a mask on. Wow, what a great delight that was. We could go racing and actually attend and have the boss there trackside giving us commentary and having the ability to call in. We could have visitors that were from out of the country that didn't have to quarantine for 14 days. And if you were so inclined, we could do a little bit of bull riding. But the reality of our situation is what we're looking at right here and what you're looking at on the screen. I'm so glad that this year didn't pass without all of us having a chance to get together. And while this isn't ideal, I think it's a really good way to keep everybody in touch with each other. A lot of first-gen news. Today, or actually last night an integrity report. It showed that the values for 97 and 05 may have plateaued, at least in their estimation, but you're still in pretty good shape. So for those of you who have a first-gen car, you have really done pretty well, I believe, in some instances outperformed the stock market in the past couple of years through the ownership of your NSX. And it's a pretty good article. I believe in Hagerty. I think that they are pretty much spot on in the things that they talk about and the way that they value cars. And I'm glad that we had the opportunity to be on their radar. So if you haven't read the article, take a look at it again. It came out yesterday. Other first-gen news, Alex Zanardi, as you may know, had a car named after him. I had the good fortune of working with Alex in the development of this car. We signed the deal and signed all the paperwork just after he won the race up at Laguna Seca, and we signed everything on a flight between Monterey and LA. I got a call about 3 weeks ago looking for a badge, an NSX badge, and oddly, the request came from the motorcycle division. A lot of people were retiring from motorcycle or moving to Atlanta, and they asked if we could get a badge, number 51. It seems as though we had one of our famous riders that owned number 51. It was an elusive car, and I don't think that anyone really knew at the time what he was planning to do. But it's made big news because that car just sold recently for $277,000. So Miguel did pretty well. I still don't know what his motivations were for selling the car, but certainly it was a gift from us, and he did very well on that car. A little interesting background, the badge here, we didn't know how to make one. All of the work on the car, the first car, was done in Japan, and they certainly didn't know what we had in mind. So I talked to Dave Merrick, and he said, I know there's a place here in LA about 10 minutes from the office. You can go over there, tell them what you want. I'll work with you to help design it. And we did that. We had all of them hand done here in LA, and then flown over actually to Japan for them to be installed in the car. Miguel's car, as you probably know, was built a little bit after all the mass production had stopped, so that's why his special car, didn't get a badge, but clearly it did not have any negative impact on the value of his car. And our friend Alex has had another tough time, and say a prayer for him as he goes through his latest struggle after his crash. Second gen, still in the news. CarBuzz, this was 18 hours ago, said that NSX is one of the most underrated cars in America. And even though we're 4 years into this, still there are a lot of naysayers, and we've been able to prove them wrong. And this article points out just that this is a true supercar. So for those of you who have a second gen, especially a 17 or 18, I would ask you to please get the 2 recall items that we've experienced, get those taken care of. Right now we're at 90% complete on the fuel tank campaign, so if you haven't yet had a chance to do that, please get that done. This chart here shows where we are on fuel tank, and these are all of the global areas with a fuel tank issue and their rate of repair. KK for us is Hong Kong. I'm not sure what's happened there. We've had very few sales there, but obviously they haven't gotten in to get their repairs made. High Mount Stoplight, please get that done. And then we have a thermostat campaign. So if you haven't yet, please see your dealer and get those things taken care of, because they can really be aggravating in the operation of your car. Let's see. So speaking of sales, we are right now at 2,375 sales as of a couple of days ago. Still no surprise, the United States is the #1 market. Japan follows with about 500 units so far. Canada's third. Then we're doing a right-hand version for Europe and a left-hand version. We have 3 cars that will be at the Port of Baltimore headed to Germany. Actually, they'll be going to Bruges, Belgium next Tuesday. I Said last year, we stopped everything in China, again, because countries, they very quickly added $250,000 as an import duty to the price of the car. It's actually now gone up to $300,000, so that makes the business in China pretty difficult for us and our 40 dealers that are on mainland China. Mexico has delivered 21, 9 in Australia, and again, Hong Kong 5, and then some of the other smaller markets are in the smaller numbers. In terms of where we are for sales, we kicked off and started recording sales in June of 2016. Here are the sales by year up here. The 17 model year and the 17 calendar year both were a pretty good sales hit for us. We were at 581 units for 17, 170 for 18, 238 for last year, and right now, as of the end of the month of September, we're at 83 units. We'll probably close the year at just around 100 units, and that's pretty much where we wanted to be. You will remember that in 17, we oversupplied the market and had way too many cars out there. The values were plummeting, and at this pace, we'll be able to maintain the values, which are, you know, an important factor for you as an owner. Everyone always asks the question, okay, what are the #1 selling exterior and interior colors? It's always surprising to me that the 130R white for the second gen is the top seller, followed by black, and then Valencia red. For the longest time at the launch, Valencia and the Novell Blue Pearl were top sellers. And as we've introduced new colors to the palette, like the new Thermal Orange and Indy Yellow, they've taken off very, very well initially, and then have gone back to a more conservative palette in terms of sales. 50% of our sales of the interior are ebony, followed by red, and then orchid. A lot of people always ask, what are people ordering on their car when they're about to order a new one? And here's a quick look of the information that we share on the take rates of various factory installed features. As an owner, it's always important to you that we provide parts. NSX is the only vehicle in our lineup globally that has a 35-year parts retention policy. We spend an extra amount of money to make sure that these parts, even the smallest parts, are packaged in packaging that looks like it could go to the moon and still be protected. But again, the idea here is to make them available for 35 years to keep your car on the road and keep you happy as a customer. Likewise, they're in special boxes, and all of them are stored in our warehouse in Columbus, Ohio, to make sure that you can have the parts available throughout your ownership. Also, Honda Motor, about 6 months ago, announced that they would start making parts for the first gen NSX S2000 and another car that sold only in the Japan domestic market. So having parts to keep your car on the road is pretty important to us. For those of you who have a Gen 2 and are potentially ordering one, I will always remind you to go to PMC, just outside of Columbus, Ohio. It's a great opportunity to get in and see cars being built. There's a lot of activity going on there. And while we'll end the year with only 100 NSXs, we're building about 600 other special PMC vehicles. I'll talk a little bit about that in the future, but if you have the chance to go to our Heritage Hall, it's not quite Motegi, but it is something really interesting and something that we're proud of. Likewise, going over to walk the line through PMC, you can go through Weld and through all parts of the plant and have a first-class experience there, and being able to talk to all the associates that are in the different departments and the 100 people that work there. You can go next door to the Acura Proving Grounds. I have 3 cars there to take out at the Transportation Research Center. So you don't beat up on your car, abuse ours as you're out on the track for either 2 or 4 hours of instruction on how to wring the most out of NSX. And if you're really into engines, we have a specialty NSX engine assembly area right in the middle of the Anna engine plant. It's the second largest engine plant in the world for any manufacturer. We do about 1.5 million engines out of there, and NSX is in a private room all to itself. We had a couple of guests go through. It's our first COVID visitors. They happen to be from Redondo Beach. They were interested in NSX, and a lot of the dealers in Southern California didn't have one, so we did rides for them here at the corporate headquarters in Torrance. They came over. They had pristine ZDX and also, I believe, a 14 MDX, and really wanted to go out to PMC. We were able to go through executive management there to allow them access in, and they were there 2 weeks ago to see their car coming offline. Again, 100 associates at PMC. Clearly in this picture, we weren't practicing social distancing, but everybody held their breath for a moment as they were lining up for the photo. Okay. I don't know if John Martini is online, but the car they happen to get is, we call it off the menu. It's a Nord Gray. We had the Nord Gray available for a couple of years on the standard menu, but we can bring it back upon special request. But I want him to know that he is still one of one, and his car is still a unique Nord Gray model.
The best color.
Absolutely the best color. Is that Ole?
Yeah, of course.
Of course it is. How are you, Ole? You're right. Yeah, good. I'm glad you could make it. I didn't see you on earlier. So we have trained a lot of people. The people, as you know, that have come over from other plants in Ohio to have the honor of working at PMC are the best of the best. They're the master technicians, and as we are closing out a couple of models, mainly the current generation TLX, we started up a PMC edition of it about 9 months ago. We wanted to make good use of the technology that we had there. It's the best paint shop we have in the whole world. We just built out about 2 weeks ago the MDX. We're doing these in limited runs. All of them are individually serialized, and we're doing a run typically of about 300 or 330 units. You may remember in 19, we introduced the new thermal orange, and Jewel was there with us. At Expo in San Francisco, as May said, one of the largest or highest attended expos in the history of our expos, we showcased the thermal orange NSX. Okay. Someone asked a question about thermal orange, and I didn't know this until just recently, but the situation in Canada, they take production from PMC only in the months of January, February, and March. They will introduce a special color like the orange and run it only for one model year. And then in the case of this year, 20, they introduced Indy Yellow and ran it only for 1 year as well. So that's a unique thing about new color introduction in Canada. We keep them generally available here in the States for future sales. And of course, we had to go off-roading through the pumpkin patch. It seemed only appropriate that we take the orange cart through the pumpkin patch, and behind the wheel was our good friend, Mr. Cunningham. So the orange has done really well in the marketplace. We wanted to mix it up a little bit. The first two cars coming out of PMC were the Valencia Red, and very shortly, in fact, on the 19th of October, we'll introduce the new thermal orange RDX, and it's a nice complement to the thermal orange NSX. It has a lot of touches that we're doing for the first time, and that would be color matching stitching. Again, the serial plate here, we'll do a run of 330 of those between the United States and Canada, 30 going to Canada, and they were sold out in 1 day. Their allotment of 30 units went very, very quickly. So they're very excited to get this vehicle as well. It's a combination of the two top packages that we have in the lineup, the A-Spec. It's also badged A-Spec on the outside as well as on the door sill inside, and all of the technology that's available in our advanced package. So it's something that you can't get anywhere else. It's premium price, and it's never offered at a discount. So we hold the full MSRP on PMC produced special models. We have just a handful of TLXs left, I believe fewer than 20. Right now we are around a quantity of about 125 MDXs. And again, we'll be starting the RDX production in about a week. On the 19th, the first cars should be coming out, and we'll announce pricing later on next week. You know that also at PMC, they do other things. And if a second gen NSX is involved in any crash that involves structural damage, the cars are all taken there through the insurance company to be repaired. Travis Duder, I don't know if you're on, but Travis happened to be, I guess, one of the fortunate or less fortunate people to have their NSX damaged. You probably know the story of Travis driving on Angeles Crest Highway. Rock slide was ahead of him. If he turned left, he would crash right into the mountain. A right turn would have landed him 2 miles down in a canyon. So he took a deep breath and ran over the rocks and tore out the underneath of his car. And I believe the final bill on it was $75,000. So we sent the car back to PMC. It was completely rebuilt, and he was there on hand to see his car come off as just after the finalization of the repair. So he was pretty excited. He said the car drives even better than it did when it was brand new. He had a 17. So far, we have repaired amazingly 18 cars at PMC, and a lot of them were near totals. But as you know, everyone cherishes their car and wants to have them rebuilt. So we're very happy to provide the opportunity to do that at PMC. You may know that for first-gen cars at Motegi, they have a refresh center. And that is where you can take your first-gen NSX, but this is available only for residents of Japan and people who have a J-spec car. Currently, the wait time to get your car evaluated is about 12 months. It's been really, really a popular program. It's been on and off now for a couple of years. It's running at full capacity. And one thing I'd like to open up at the end of this meeting is a conversation about the interest in having something like that available here in the United States for first-gen owners.
Dan Murphy did that for
For that?
U.S. Refresh Center.
Oh, okay, great. Dan
Can
Murphy.
we just say yes now and get it over with?
Well, yeah. Also, if anybody has been in receipt of research, I have a research going out to about 2,000 people in the United States asking their level of interest in the overall idea for a refresh, and then looking at the packages, which I'll quickly go through here, as to the level of interest in a specific package so we can get some idea of what the interest is and then how we can proceed. But like Japan, we would look at a basic, we call it an application fee, and it's really a detailed inspection where your car is evaluated to determine really what is needed and to give you an estimate on what the repair costs would be. There's a cleaning option just for the exterior to have the car cleaned up if it's in really good condition. Some small things are changed, like the wipers and exterior body detailing and cleaning, or $2,500. What do you think?
We got 7 people say yes, plus 1 for Canada, and then another one. What if you ship a U.S. car to Japan? Another yes for the refresh program in the U.S. And what about a paint color changes?
Okay. Good questions. We cannot ship a car from the United States to Japan. There are, basically the body is the same, but there are a lot of interior things that are not. And they are so backlogged in Japan that they cannot even accommodate Japanese customers at this time. So that's why we're doing this investigation here to figure out if there is an interest. So we call this section Powertrain and Fuel System category. Again, you can see here a C1 is $3,200 for replacing the fuel tank and the hoses, an engine replacement and tune-up. Either it's between $13,800 and $14,500. A complete engine overhaul is between $22,900 and $23,600. You replace the clutch, depending upon what else is needed, it's $4,000 to $8,500 bill. And then for the transmission, you can see the cost there.
So there was, so I guess Ben made an ask to Japan. It says Japan Refresh Center said they will not take a non-Japan spec car.
That's correct, yeah. And they're doing that because, again, the parts on this car that's been around for now over 30 years, they're really tough to come by. Even though they're trying to remake parts, they're doing it in baby steps for the Japan domestic market first, and then we'll build more later. But that's exactly why we're doing this investigation, Ben, is to see if there's an appetite for this type of service in the United States. It seems as though there is.
Someone also asked, curious if second gen will have a program to modernize it with current offerings too.
Yeah, we're looking at that. We'll start with first gen first, and then expand it as the second gen starts to get some age on it as well. Someone asked about painting, and I think that's on the next page, but suspension repairs can all be done in Japan. Power steering kits, which is something that has had a fair amount of concern. The brakes, of course, things that would be available, and we would first supply parts to this center before they would go to dealers and aftermarket repair places. So, to tear a car down completely, disassemble it, take it all the way down to the white body, and paint it to the owner's specification is currently available in Japan, and we're looking at that here. Could potentially be run through the line that we have now for mass production NSX and make use of that, but body color, exterior color would be an option of changing as well. You can see door-related parts, and there are a lot of these things that are tough to come by, and they are now available through the Refresh Center. Likewise, lighting, headlights that may discolor if they've been out in the Southern California sun or Florida sun are a big request item as well.
Do they work on modified cars?
Do they work on modified cars? At the moment, a lot of them going in are. You have to sign a separate waiver because there are some parts that are not genuine Honda or Acura parts, and that can present a problem. So they're really trying to focus on cars that are more closer to stock, because getting replacement parts that are aftermarket are tough for the center.
Parts supply for Gen 1 would be a great start. And then also the Valencia Red Pearl Gen 1 question mark.
Yeah, that would be something that could be done here. We have the paint capability at PMC, so if you did want to mix it up and apply a second gen color on a first gen car, or potentially a purple on something else, that may be something for the future. We all know who we're talking, or who I'm talking about.
Hand painted or machine painted?
All machine painted. So if you'd like to learn more, send me, here's my email, a note that you'd like to be included on the research, and then we can capture all of the comments and the level of interest quantitatively through the research activity. So it's john_watts@ahm.acura.com, and I'd be happy to get a survey instrument to you, so you'll have the opportunity to contribute to our research.
This is exciting. I would love an 8X Blue NSX.
Nice. Okay, so usually, and I'll say usually, and typically there's nothing really typical, but our history has been for the last 3 years at least to introduce some, or bring some news to Monterey during the car week up there. This year, as you know, the August event was canceled. We had planned to make a reveal and make some news there. We have made some news with the new TLX, in that the Type S is back, and the boss at CADA has publicly said that we're going to make a Type S available in everything that we produce. So there will be more news on that as we roll more models out. Just last week, we teased out some pictures of the new MDX that's coming out after the first of the year, and we teased out the concept images. And as you know, there's been a lot of media speculation about NSX. When is the open top coming? When is the Type R coming? When is the Type S coming? And while we don't have any news to share with you in this session today, stay tuned. We will have some news about NSX toward the end of this month. So stay tuned, and we'll share with you as soon as we possibly can, give you a little lead on that. A lot of things are changing throughout the world. Things are changing here within our organization as well. Our good friend Ted Klaus will be retiring as president of HPD effective December 1st. There are many people leaving this building here. It will be interesting when the lights come back on. There will be a lot of faces that will be missing, including mine. I'll be retiring December 1st. It's been a great 33 years at a company that I love, and it's been wonderful having the opportunity to have worked on NSX for the last 4 years. Mark Deutsch is here with us in the room. I will turn the laptop, well, we'll share everybody in the room once this is over. Mark is taking over a lot of the things that I've been doing, and that will be added to his plate. And he's currently the manager of electric vehicles. So he's quite busy doing a number of things, and NSX will be something else that he will really get a lot of enjoyment out of doing. For this session, I'll say, wish you all the best, stay safe, and I hope to see you all in person next year.
So at this point, you want to open it for questions?
Yeah, let's do it. So open it up for questions.
Just unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
Good question.
Yeah.
So regarding the parts availability for the Gen 1 cars, is there a way to get some kind of survey together about kind of the most sought after parts, like windshields or coil packs or just the common parts we're all looking for?
Okay. Yes, we can get that out. Also,
okay, so this is Ole.
Yeah, Ole. Could you get a little closer?
I just want to. I want to be the first person to say congratulations on your retirement, and I hate to hear it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, really it has been so much fun working with you and Ted and all the guys there. This has been fabulous. Many of us, Melee included, have been watching this since before the factory was built. You know,
yeah.
Clement, like we know Clement D'Souza, we saw the mules, and like you guys have been so much fun and such a fantastic sponsor for the NSX Club of America. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are very welcome, and thank you for the ownership of your cars and your contribution to the club as well. Without the enthusiasm and the passion and the love that you have for your car and the whole community, it wouldn't happen. So thank you. We really appreciate it.
Life is good. All right, guys.
Yeah. Other questions or comments?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
When you do when you're planning to do the AC air conditioning updates, would that include an update to R134?
I think it would have to. It wouldn't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be legal for us to do something that used older Freon or something that's no longer available. First of all, it would be tough, and then secondarily, we'd have to have it compliant.
Okay, I assume that, but I just wanted to confirm it.
Yes, good question. Mark, did you see other questions coming through?
A lot of yeses for Refresh Center. Congratulations, congratulations.
Thank you.
Quick question. Someone made the comment when he showed the picture of the bull that John Watts killed it on the bull. So those of you that witnessed that, what was his trick? Did he cheat? Did he slip someone money to slow it down, or what? What do you
No.
I may have a video of that.
You may.
Quick question on the refresh parts. Are they going to be re-engineered parts so that they operate better, like the climate control boards and things like that, or are they going to be, historical parts?
They're trying to make them upgraded in durability based upon the original design, but the spec may be modified to make them more durable.
Okay, things like window regulators, some things that, we know as owners haven't held up.
Right. Yeah, the idea there is to make sure that they fit, but make sure they have a longer life if there was an issue with the durability of them. Good
All right, so why don't you feed your pet robot so he doesn't make so much noise on the mic? Someone thinks this pet robot's making a noise.
Oh, wow. So in the room here in Torrance, I wanted to go around, and I think most of you know Kelly Lynch.
Hi, everyone.
And Mark Deutsch.
Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to meet everybody, or morning or evening, depending on what part of the world you're at.
And Nucci Bang will also be involved in NSX as well. I think you've seen her. You were there last year, weren't you?
Actually, I've not been.
You haven't been?
Yeah, I haven't been. No.
Well, you'll see her around.
Sorry, y'all, I didn't make it.
And then Bob Kelly. If I can twist the cord around. Hold on. Here's Bob Kelly. He's responsible for our, here we go, S&PP activities, sales and production planning. So, Mark, what was the total count today?
We're up to 76 right now. I think we hit 77 at one point.
And
I'm going to mute everybody again if it gets loaded.
Okay, and by way of response, did anyone have any issues with hearing? If you had no issues, fine, just send us a note. Again, all of the notes that sorry about that. So I'll repeat it again, just in case. If you have issues or did not have issues, let us know, because the notes that you type in are recorded, and then we'll have those for evaluation and for future improvement.
And I'm also going to give a rundown to John for his video chats coming up in the next day or so he'll get a quick note on what worked well and what doesn't. So any comments you have, we can pass those forward for the next call in the morning.
Yep. And I believe we're going to have this available.
Yes.
Ms. Lees, it's recorded. We'll get it up, and then May will send it out.
Yes.
Speaking of a beautiful car, look at that Nord Gray. Holy, it's great.
So
I already sent a picture to Martini from this because he's not on the call.
Oh. Okay, great.
Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, going once, going twice.
Hey, I got one.
Okay, go ahead. You got the floor.
Hey, John, you may have covered this. I had some app issues. Has Acura seen any kind of parts supply issues like GM is seeing on the C8 that forced the production shutdown? Because I believe the NC1 is brake-by-wire as well, too.
So far, we haven't. Generally speaking, our factories operate with just-in-time inventory. A couple of suppliers have gone out, and we've been able to purchase all of their stock and all of their inventory. But so far, we've had no incidents of any part shortages that caused a shutdown in production. So thankfully, we've had a good stable relationship with the suppliers in Ohio and elsewhere around the world. And so far, so good with NSX.
That's good to know. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Ms. Purple. Is the schedule for the rest of the NSXPO published somewhere?
Yes, it's on the NSXCA website, www.nsxca.org.
Okay, I'll check there. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Answer that question.
Also, note if you want, you can always email NSXPO at nsxca.org. And if you have any questions, I'm manning that email and we'll get back to you if you have questions.
Yeah, as Mark mentioned, and I saw it on the side there, someone asked about the impact of the tsunami in Japan on parts availability for Gen 1. There was an impact, and I think that's one of the reasons for reestablishing relationships with suppliers to get those parts back up and available. But some were lost in the tsunami, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, let me be the second then behind Ole to congratulate you on your impending retirement, John Watts, and also to Ted Klaus. I'll send him a personal note after this. It's been wonderful over the last decade and a half plus being part of the NSX Club and working with you guys, and we're really going to be sorry that you're leaving, but I'm sure you'll stay in touch and you'll always have an open invitation to future NSXPOs and future bull rides.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And absolutely, we're one big family.
Yes, we are. So as a reminder to everyone, this session was recorded and we're going to be posting it online to the NSXCA website later today. In addition, what we've been doing is we're going to be posting videos from sponsors each day. Today's videos, which have already been posted to the NSXCA website, come from Common Fibers and from Euro Boutique. We hope you enjoy them. There'll be several each day for the rest of the virtual NSXPO event. Tune in tomorrow on Saturday, October the 10th, from 12 until 1:30 p.m. from 12 noon until 1:30 p.m. Pacific time for our first ever virtual NSXPO tech session. We'll have Rick Coe from Euro Boutique, Dave Levy from Cedar Ridge Fabrication, and Chris Wilson from Science of Speed, who are going to be the featured speakers. And there will be giveaways for questions during those sessions, so come prepared. Thank you to everyone who made the time to join us today. I'd like to give a shout out to the hardworking core team that worked on this first ever virtual NSXPO. We've got John Comar, Warren Woodcox, Mark Scott, Dan Murphy, and Ira Leventhal. Without all of the hard work over the last couple of months, meeting weekly, tons of emails, this could not have happened. So a big shout out to all of the folks that worked on this one, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, everyone.
Holy driving.
Right work. Enjoyed it very much. See you tomorrow.
That's safe.
I just said, are you driving?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm going to stop the recording.
Great job, May.
A little bit higher, May.
A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now.
Shh, I didn't turn the microphone off. Hi, Mark. Hi, May. Thank you.
Hi, Cindy.
Neil! Get Neil back there. Neil! He's running away.
I know he doesn't want to be on camera.
Don't worry, the government's not recording.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, everybody.
Looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks for the first session. Very good.
Thanks.
See ya, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, May. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Okay, bye, y'all.
Back to the hay, Mark. So did we break 70?
Yeah, we're at 78, 79.
Really?
50.
Wow, great.
Hey, Warren. You still there?
How did you get that? I'm lucky to break my neck.
Did you break your neck? Jeez, you probably didn't even break a sweat.
Oh, all right.
You pop out of your pants. I thought that thing was moving.
It was just getting warmed up.
I thought that was like 8 minutes in.
We'll post that on the website.
I mean, now that I know the NSXPA.org.
Yeah. Very funny.
What wants to be the last
I
one?
think that's the lead.
We're all waiting for everybody to,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, see ya.
Bye.
We're gonna do orders.
Do orders? I got 29 minutes for my next meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
We need to roll the end credits or something to get people to leave the movie theater.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna sign out. Bye, y'all.
Good. That all went really well.
Yeah. Bye.